Guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another best of 5 series in between the two pro players from the South Korean scene. These games have been played very recently in the year 2022 in July. We are actually at a Dreamhack from Valencia, as we see spawning in the upper left in the blue. It is Hero, currently considered the best Protoss in the world, and his opponent spawning in the lower right in the red. It is Dark, one of the best Zergs there ever was and is. Yeah, so really strong engagement in between them. Let's have a look exactly what they are doing. As I already see Hero moving out with his probe, very likely to cancel the first expansion point from Dark. And let's see, the timing is really crucial here as in comes the probe. Nicely done by Hero, already winning him a little bit of time, delaying that expansion, as Dark has to force his expansion here into this location. So nice open up here by Hero. Let's have a look at his expansion point. Pylon into gateway, so the pretty standard stuff. One gas into this location, perhaps he's going to continue with his second gas. Let's check Dark really quick as he's chasing this probe away. Yeah, so Dark losing some time here early on. He has to build this expansion over here. Of course he could have cancelled it or just faked it and moved out here into this location, but yeah, in the end he just has to take that, and he's continuing with an extractor with a spawning pool, as his overlords are also moving out here on the map just to give as much vision as possible. So here's that expansion for Hero. Check his main, still no second gas. So a nice build order by him, continuing with his cybernetic score. I believe as soon as this cybernetic score is going to finish, he's going to go out with a starport, just like many Protosses do. They really like to harass the mineral line from the Zergs with those oracles. And let's see how Dark is going to react to that, and when exactly he's going for his second expansion. By the looks of it, indeed around the 2-minute and 20-second mark should be of course the timer for the second expansion. And yep, Hero knows this. Of course he could have added a pylon here, but then again I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing, as some drones are being transferred, but one of those drones could actually come here and place a hatchery. So yeah, the probe gives of course vital information towards Hero what exactly the plans from Dark are, as the first Zerglings also to make it out on the map, and the overlords are nicely placed here, giving vision, important vision for Dark. Let's see, the first 4 Zerglings are out. In comes Dark with his second expansion around the 2-minute and 54-second mark, so nice build order by him. The queens will also be popped out really soon. Of course, the queens are really important early on, just for your defenses as a Zerg, and the queen eggs are also nicely getting spread out on the map. So important vision, like I told you, for Dark with his overlords. He's going to see he should be able to see the starport really soon, as the first oracle is also being produced. So nice exploring here by Dark with his overlords. Really nicely done. Let's have a look what exactly the plans from Hero are. Perhaps he's going into mass adepts, could be a possibility for him. Currently they're just playing very nicely here, just very good defensively here for both players. I believe both of them are preparing their macro oriented game, so yeah, no early aggression by them, and those overlords are also hiding now. So Dark thinks of course it might be a Void Ray first, could also be a Phoenix first, but no, it's just mass oracles first. Hero knows of course how strong they are early on, but he decides not to attack. He decides to play it safe. He decides to defend the expansion point just in case some Zerglings are pouring in. But yeah, Dark also very defensive gameplay by him. More and more queens are getting spawned out. So yeah, the connection is going to be successful really soon in between the creep, just to create a highway for Dark. And yeah, Dark, I believe, is also going to prepare his third expansion really soon. Let's check his main. There's an evolution chamber, so no roach warrant yet for him. No decisions to be aggressive, just currently massive amounts of Zerglings as more and more are being produced. And Hero also playing really safe, not deciding to harass here, interesting enough, with his oracles. Perhaps he's just waiting to get more and more energy. But hold on, we do see some sniping going on. I believe indeed those adepts came in for Hero, and look at that, 2 adepts already causing some issues for Dark, as he lost 6 drones. So nice engagement by Hero. with those two hero adapts, killing 6 drones. Good stuff by him. As the third Oracle, no, actually this is a Phoenix. So this might be the point where hero is going to move out with his forces, with his air forces, or perhaps he's going to wait for another Oracle. Let's see. His main is now transitioning into gateway units. There is his forge with those upgrades. And yeah, Blink is also being researched for those stalkers, of course. Yeah, Dark is currently just droning more and more up. And yeah, I believe he's only at Queens with Zerling, so he decides to play very defensively here. What is going to be his next options? He's actually going for a tier 2. So we might see a transition into some Mutalisk, we might see a transition into Hydra Lurkers. And still, hero is of course known for his gateway pushes, for his Zealot Stalkers pushes. Let's see what his plans are, as he's still not deciding to move out. He's actually transitioning into more and more gateway, and also prepares his stasis wards just in case some Zerglings are pouring in. But yeah, Dark knows this, of course, as he's just sending out one Zergling after the other. And he might even pull this trigger onto this one stasis ward with those Zerglings. Now let's just see what the... There should be a spore, but now Dark decides to go mass Queens. So no spores for him into this location. One spore is here, and the main also has a spore. This is going into another macro hatch. Some interesting stuff by him, and he's also hiding a Hydralisk den here. So in case I'm missing something, of course you have the in the upper left part the production tab, and Dark also deciding to go for his third expansion. So really nice stuff, but hero taking his gold mine. So this should be, of course, punished by Dark, because the economic advantage will be really skyrocketing soon for hero, as more and more minerals will be produced, as Dark is of course expanding more and more out of that creep. And yeah, he's sending out one Zergling after the other. Really wise decision by him. Sees now that gold mine, so knows exactly what is happening. Even has some Zerglings into this location. So nice stuff by Dark, and great expansion by hero, as he's indeed going into mass gateway units. Let's see what his plans are, what the next units are going to be. Temper Archives, we might see some Dark Tempers, we might see some Archons. Archons of course really strong against those Zerglings, and High Temper Storm is also really good. And yeah, we actually see some Banelings with Hydra, so Link, Bane, Hydra is the strategy here for Dark against hero. Let's see where this is going to be taking him, as hero is now finally teleporting more and more Zealots into this location, and he might try to move out and to try, of course, to snipe as many Queen eggs as possible. And yeah, nice Stalker move out, nice Oracles. Let's see what the answer from Dark is going to be for this. Is going, of course, heavily into Banelings, and he's also expanding here. So yeah, pretty interesting game by both of them. First game here into this best of 5 series, as more and more Zealots are being spawned in. And let's have a look what exactly is going to be happening here, as indeed there are just massive amounts of gateway units for hero, as Dark is adding some defenses here into this location. But I believe he's going to concentrate indeed into this lower left part, while Archon is going to deal, of course, so much splash damage. And if finally we have a good engagement in between them, Dark on the high ground, nice stasis fields by hero, as he's going to block the army from Dark, but this he has also blocked himself a little bit. And now a good stasis ward by hero, pushing back Dark, keeping him at base. So nice stuff by him. But hold on, actually Dark deciding to move out with another Zerglings push, and hero just leaves the door open. There are no defenses actually here, so what a mistake here by hero, as those Zerglings will pull forward. Finally some Zealots do make it here out, but 5 probes have already been killed. And at the same time Dark, of course, is going to have to punish this gold mine, as in come the Banelings. Banelings are rolling in, so much splash damage being dealt against the probes. Luckily here for hero is not going to lose so many. Still more and more damage is being taken out, as Dark is all over the place with his units, and once again a Baneling push into this location. So 35 kills for Dark. Dark just multitasking really nicely, punishing here the economy from hero. Nice job. Really hard to defend, but a small mistake by hero, leaving here the door open. Of course he has to leave it open just for some units to get out, but at the same time Protoss can of course teleport some units near to a pylon, so Hero perhaps with a small mistake that cost him really dearly, as he has dropped 259 workers. And yet Dark once again sending out some banelings, forcing Hero to leave some units in the back, and at the same time Ling Hydra here. But there are some Archons, so Archons of course will obliterate those Lings. So nice defense here in the lower left part. Of course this base is really important for Hero, he has to keep it alive as much as possible. And then let's see if Dark is going to add those queens into attacking the creeps, right? It's really good, as once again we have a good fight here. At the same time Dark moves out on the middle of the map with his links. At the same time some banelings are rolling in towards Hero. Hero needs to be careful. Those banelings once again 11 kills for them. At the same time the Zerglings are pouring in the upper part. So yeah, hard game for Hero as he's being under siege by the swarm of the Zerg. So much damage being taken by him. Another 15 kills, and once again the banelings do make some connection. 29, 30 kills for Dark. Dark is really all over the place. At the same time just keep killing unit after unit, especially those probes. 53 kills already. Dark showing us the multitask of Zerglings and banelings against the Protoss. Still the Protoss army is really strong, but it's now nicely blinking forward as the Hero knows he has to make something happen to push this back. But still those Zerglings are roaming around in the expansion point, killing more and more workers, as yeah, finally Hero punishes the economy from Dark as well, as the first hatchery has fallen. The gold base is still up, but so many probes have fallen. Hero actually dropping to 29 workers. He knows he has to make something happen, as Dark is at 80 workers, and yeah, in comes Dark with his Zerglings, with his banelings in the front. The real damage dealers are of course the Hydras in the back, and by the looks of it, yeah, he's not even going to micro those Hydras, as I believe Dark thinks that he has won this game, and yes indeed that is the case. So Dark taking game number 1. Let's just jump straight into game number 2. Nice strategy by Dark versus the Protoss, Ling, Bane and Hydras, and that multitask with those Zerglings all over the map greatly working out for him. Nice strategy here by the Zerg versus the Protoss. Hero caught off guard, and yeah, let's see how things will unfold in game number 2. We are spawning on inside and out. In the lower left in the blue it is Hero from South Korea, and his opponent from South Korea as well. In the upper right as the red Zerg it is Dark. Let's see if the strategies will change. The probe is already moving out on the map. I see it here, as once again Hero is going to try to block, just like in game number 1, the expansion point. So Dark knows this of course, as he's already moving out with his drones, but Dark could of course not place a hatchery here and just return into this location, but no, in the end he's just going to take it. So a little bit of time once again won by Hero against his opponent, and yeah, let's see how this will unfold. By the looks of it, yes, it's the same build order for Hero, piling into gateway and his first gas. Let's have a look at Dark. Actually also should be the same build order, fast expansion into extractor, and the spawning pool should follow up really soon. But the question is he going to go once again for that Ling, Bane, Hydra unit composition? It was really strong in game number 1, and yeah, those banelings getting those great connections against the probes. In the end, more than 17 probes have been killed. Yeah, Dark showing us of course the strengths all of those banelings and those Zerglings all over the place. Let's see how Hero is going to adapt to that, as he's going into a cybernetic score, and pretty soon he's going to follow, or he should follow up with a starport. It could also be a robotics facility bay with some adapt push, could be a possibility. Let's see exactly what the options for Hero are going to be here, as he's placing another pylon, and the probe is once again going to be of course as annoying as possible, giving information about what exactly Dark is up to. Spawning pool is finished, as the first queens should also pop out really soon, and yeah, the overloads are once again just like in game number 1, nicely being spread out. And yeah, there is that starport, actually Stargate, being placed by him, so we might see some oracles. We could see some phoenixes. Void rays would also be really interesting for the Protoss player. Let's see exactly what his options are and his decision, as the probe is finally going to get pushed back. And we're closing in once again just like in game number 1, the 2-minute and 45-second mark. Is it going to be the timer for that second expansion for Dark? Yes indeed. So yeah, he pushes the probe back, and he's going for his second expansion. Some drones have already been transferred here into this location, and let's check the main Let's also see the timer for the tier 2, or is it going to be a tier 2 for Dark? Is he going to go once again for Hydras? He might try some Lurkers, he might try some Mutalisk. We're about to find out what exactly his decision is going to be. And Hero, is he once again going to push out with those adepts? Worked out really well in game number 1, sniping 6 workers. More and more queens are being produced. Of course, the defenses are really important. And let's have a look if this time actually going Phoenix first and then Orc. So he wants to snipe some of those overlords. And interesting enough, in game number 1, Hero decided not to be aggressive with his Oracles. He might change this in game number 2. It should be, of course, an option, an important option. And this time it's also creating another SimCity build order here, not allowing any move forward by those Zerglings, but we are just at a 4-minute mark. So let's see how things will unfold. And yes, indeed, by the looks of it, is he going to attack or is he once again going to stay here? I believe he's staying here, once again being very defensively, so not deciding to move forward, as some spores are of course being added by Dark. And yeah, spore here into this location, so the timing would have been really good. Nice job here by Dark. And the Hero of course knows this. So perhaps he's just staying back with his Oracles, just wanting to have more and more energy. And yeah, with a faster second expansion, he wants of course to have the economic advantage. But as I say, this at around the 4-minute 30-second mark, he's deciding to move here out on the map with 2 adepts, with those 2 Oracles and with 1 Phoenix. Let's see how this is going to unfold for him. Is he going to be able to snipe some of those drones? The queens are nicely intercepting here. It's 3 adepts actually. But yeah, Hero not deciding to move out. There is a spore here, but the first shots are being taken out of that Phoenix. At the same time, 1 Zergling dealing some damage here into this location. So yeah, Hero not really making anything happen. Of course, the defenses are really strong for the Zerg. No spore here into this location, but massive amounts of queens to defend. And let's see, there is a spore here, there's a queen, some Zerglings. Still, yes indeed, Hero is trying to go for, finally he's going to snipe 2, even 3 drones. So finally he's having a much better early game than in game number 1. Finally being able to snipe 3 workers, not losing those adepts just like in game number 1. And he's still roaming around of course with his Oracles, still waiting to have more and more energy, as he's also going out for his expansion. Let's check his main really quick. Once again, massive amounts of gateways are being produced here by Hero, as he's also moving out, sees the expansion. Let's see, are there any defenses here for Dark? There is a spore, and there is that macro hatch, as he's now going for his tier 2. So at around the 6-minute mark, Dark decides to go for his tier 2, mutating here his hatchery. Let's see what exactly is going to happen. 1 queen might get sniped, so pretty good pickup by Hero, as he's also having vision to this debris. So yeah, Dark is still expanding all over the place, and we see some zealots move out. Is there speed already being done? Yes indeed, there is some speed, or let's see what exactly is going to happen, as sadly for Hero those zealots will be surrounded, but more and more are being added, so Dark has to stay back, has to defend. Some drones have been sniped here as well. And yeah, let's see, Dark is going to hold, of course he's going to lose some units. Same can be said for Hero, he needs to be more careful with that micro. And he has placed a nice pylon here, so this is of course why the Protoss are such an advanced technology, such an advanced race. They can of course teleport those units out of those gateways near to that pylon, so it's just like a non-stop harassment, a non-stop global army here for the Protoss. Really crucial to have that pylon here, and look at that, more and more units are being teleported for the Protoss, just like in Star Trek with Captain Kirk. So really nice job here by the Protoss, as yet Dark is being forced back to defend. Some Banelings have joined the army, so he might try to do a bust here forward. The Zealots have to defend now this pylon, but they're getting surrounded, and because the Banelings hitting some good connections. Hero still tries of course to get some sniping going on onto those drones, but there is a spore being placed, so finally the pylon has been killed. And yeah, Hero might try to add a second or even a third pylon, as in comes Dark with his roaming Zerglings and Banelings. But yeah, Hero should be able to fend this off. Not only that, but he's going to snipe some of those Banelings. course, the real threat against those probes are those banings. And yeah, Dark is now finally being forced back as Hero once again pushes forward. Really not that much energy being left out of those oracles. Actually 5 oracles for Hero. Hero has shown us the strengths of the oracles. Actually 6 oracles now. He even sniped some queens with them. Let's see if he's going to make something happen here. Dark of course knows this. He's adding another spore, but the main should be now not that really good defended. Yes indeed, there's another spore being added. And in come the oracles, so those drones are not having any defenses here. Dark decides to go, sorry, Hero decides to go for the spore. Perhaps the drones would have been a much better target, but still he's able to snipe 5 of them at the same time. Dark moves out with his banings, with his Zerglings, not allowing of course the Protoss to expand all over the place. So yeah, the Zerglings should be able to take care of this. At the same time some probes are being transferred, but in come the banings and they don't need to be, they weren't killed, but a nice stasis trap here by Hero as the banings will be snapped, but sadly for Hero he has lost his expansion point. So yeah, great stasis trap just to force those banings away. And yeah, Hero is going to hold of course his location. 3 probes have been sniped. As let's see, what exactly is Dark going for? Is there a Hydralisk then somewhere being hidden? What is his plans? He has a double macro hatch here, and there is indeed that Hydralisk then. So he's going once again, just like in game number 1, for the same build order. Ling Bane Hydralisk against massive amounts of gateway units out of Hero. Yes, Zerg's Zealots into Stalkers, I believe it should be, but he's also going for Templar Archive, so we might see once again some those Archons. Those Archons are really strong against the Zergling. Still Hero, sorry, Dark roaming around here, but the first Hydralisk do show up. Of course they are the real damage dealer, as some upgrades are also being finished here. Groove Spines and Centrifugal, huge, nice stuff here by Dark, as some rocks will also be sniped just to create a highway towards the other expansion point. So yeah, just like in game number 1, it looks like the Zerg understands of course that this strategy is the best against those gateway units, and also dropping those banings into the mineral line from the Protoss, where the highway is open. Some oracles do come here forward, and let's see exactly when Dark is going to attack, as I believe pretty soon he's going to be maxed out, given the fact that he's at 70 workers, but look at that, Hero already at 77, so such a nice game by him. And here the first Archon are indeed being used by Hero, and we see some banings try to test the waters here against Hero, and here the oracles giving of course more and more vision. So it's still a waiting game. Dark still not deciding to attack. Hero still on the defense with his Zealots, with his still no Stalkers, it's just Archons for him. And he has some 6 oracles, might try to snap 1 unit or 2. Of course more and more creep will be spreaded by the Zerg. And yeah, let's see when exactly the attack is going to happen, as more and more Hydras are joining the army, and such a mobile army, and the fact that the creep is nicely being spreaded by Dark all over the place. So nice job by him. Even Overseer has joined the army, and let's see what exactly is going to happen. Hero still on the defense. A nice Sim City, massive amounts of cannons, and some Immortals, actually double Immortals are being added by him, with some Psionic Storm. So Psionic Storm might be the answer for Hero against that huge amount of Zerglings and Banings. And in comes now Dark with his Zerglings, with his Banings, and those Hydras in the back. So nice surround onto those Zealots. We do have some Immortals, we do have some Archons, and I believe it is the timer here around the 12-minute mark. Dark is very likely going to engage. He leaves his Zerglings in the front, he leaves the Banings in the back, and Hero has to outmicro those Banings with his probes, but still so much damage being taken by him. The Immortals have fallen, the Banings did get some connections, and so many units alive. The Banings however are in the back, so they won't get any connections. Finally they're moving forward as more and more is getting sniped here against the Protoss. Once again, many probes have fallen, 28. The army from Hero is also fallen as well. Those Immortals, and now the expansion point is pretty much under siege, as more and more Zerglings are moving forward. And yes, indeed, Dark is going to take game number 2 as well. So Hero giving up, of course, he has dropped so low. Dark once again showing us the same strategy working out for the Zerg. Let's just jump straight into game number 2. Game number 3, this time they're spawning here on Data C. Very interesting looking map. Once again we have spawning in the lower left, in the blue it is Hero, and his opponent in the upper right, in the red it is Dark, showing us the strengths of Link, Bane and Hydralisk against the Protosses. Let's see how Hero is going to adapt to this. If he's going to lose this game here, he's pretty much out of the tournament, so he has to make something happen. He has to, I believe, be more aggressive. He's of course known for his Augur pushes, his Zealot pushes, but he has played it very defensively. And yeah, let's see what his plans are here for game number 3. And we're also going to find out if Dark is going to go for his same strategy, Link, Bane, Hydras. Might add some lurkers, or he might add a surprise for Hero. He might go for some Mutalisk. Yeah, let's just see how this game is going to unfold, as we have the same build order for Hero, Pylon into Gateway and into Gas, and this time Dark can of course add his expansion into the first point, as the probe is going to be of course a little bit delayed here. And yeah, in comes the probe. Is going to give of course as much information as possible. He sees the spawning pool, he sees the extractor, so nothing out of the ordinary, just some harassment going on, just a little bit of delayed time. And of course Dark is going to be sent out a drone to take care of this probe. Gas is being done, there's that spawning pool, so pretty soon as the spawning pool finishes, the first queens will be added by him. And yeah, queens of course really important early on. Let's check the main from Hero, the expansion point with that gateway, with the cybernetic score. There is that expansion. And yeah, of course this is why the probe is so much important, just to give information to the Protoss, just so that he can expand quietly here. And we see a simulator, second simulator. We also see a pylon here, so he might once again continue with a starport. Really important to have early on against the Zerg, just to harass the mineral line. But interesting enough, Hero not deciding to do this. He's played it very defensively with those oracles. He might change his tactics here in game number 3, as we are also having the first adepts being produced by him. And yet the 2 minutes and 45 seconds is closing in, so we might see Dark take his second expansion really soon, just like he did in the previous games. The probe this is exactly why this probe is staying into this location, with yet Dark already having the Zerglings here to fend this off. And we actually see Dark taking the round 1 clock location, so perfect build order by him, just like in the previous games. Let's check Hero, and there should be his Stargate. So yeah, Stargate indeed. Let's see what exactly is going first. Is it going to be a Phoenix first, or is it going straight for those oracles? Oracles it is indeed going to be for him. And yeah, more and more probes and more drones are of course being produced, as the adepts will also stay back to defend the location. So yeah, we need to be very careful here what exactly Hero is going to be doing different, or is he going to be doing anything different. Currently still like in the previous games, going for some gateways. Perhaps he's not going to go for a fast second expansion, perhaps he's going to mass more units out and be more aggressive. We're about to find out. The speed has been finished for those Zerglings. So yeah, things looking really normal for the Zerg, just like in the previous games. And let's see if this one Oracle can do something here. But there's 2 queens, once more is also being produced. The Oracle already taking quite some damage, so Hero has to retreat a little bit. He might try to add some damage here, but no, in the end he just has to retreat, as the overload gives now information for Dark. There's that second Oracle, and the third one is also being chrono boosted out by Hero. So Hero finally playing it normal, playing it aggressively with those Oracles. He's going to snap some of those Queen Eggs. 2 drones have been sniped. He might continue, but Dark is really fast with his micro. Still the Oracles are really fast, so 4 kills for Hero, nicely done by him. And a more aggressive Hero against Dark. This should of course be the strategy, and we also see a nice beeline being formed out of those overlords, seeing of course just in case a Oracle is moving forward. And there is one Oracle is going to snipe some eggs, and 2 drones, even 3, 4 almost. So yeah, Hero finally being aggressive, finally showing us the strengths of those Oracles. As 2 other Oracles are moving forward, and more units are being sniped, more and more workers are being sniped. 6 have been sniped already, with the previous 4 around 10 or more. And yeah, at the same time here also deciding to take the expansion. So the pretty much same build order for him, but more aggressive here with his oracles moving out. Let's have a look. 5 kills on this one, 3 on this one, and also 4 on this one. So nice job by him. The door is pretty much shut, so those Zerglings aren't going to be able to do some damage here. So Dark, of course, checking the water, but yet Dark taking quite some economic damage early on. Around 10 workers have been sniped. So nice job by hero, as there is that 3rd expansion point for him. Just a small amount of Zerg. Let's see if they can do something happy in here. But yeah, no, hero is nicely going to defend this location. See the oracles once again, or try to move here forward. 4 kills onto this one. The others also roaming around. But yeah, Dark nicely defending this time, so he should be okay. And let's see once again, what is he going for? Is he going for that tier 2 upgrade? Yes, indeed, tier 2 upgrade into hatchery. So the pretty much same build order for Dark. As we see army move out, we actually have mass stalkers now for heroes, so no zealots for him. Going straight into stalkers, and the timing push is around the 6 minute and 10 second mark. So still is going out with his stalkers. Is he going to place once again a pylon into the near proximity just to teleport those units out? We're about to find out. Or is he going to add a shuttle just to teleport those units forward? So at this time a more aggressive hero moving out on the map, still roaming around, as there is this one probe. So this probe is really important, just to add this one pylon so hero can teleport his reinforcements forward. And yeah, the queens have to defend, but it's just mass stalkers. I believe blink has also been finished onto those stalkers. So let's see the answer for Dark, as he's pretty much under siege now by hero. Hero with a much more aggressive move. 1 sentry has been snapped, but more and more sentries are being added, as a nice micro is happening here. Hero decides to save that sentry. At the same time, Dark tries of course to snipe this one pylon. This one pylon is really important for those reinforcements. And yeah, in they come. Stalkers, it is massive amounts of stalkers actually for hero against Dark. So no zealots at all, just mass stalkers backed up by some orcas. But now Dark going for a nice round. Hero has to blink out. The banelings are pulling forward. Still so many Zerglings in the front, but Hero is nicely kiting back and forth. But he needs to be careful against the banelings. The banelings do get some connections, but in the end Dark has to retreat. Still a good hold by him. He didn't lose quite that much. Dealt quite some damage against those stalkers. And yeah, still those queens need to be protected. The stalkers are pretty much low, but Hero is nicely microing them back and forward with that blinking ability. So nice job here by him. So we have a much more aggressive hero than in the previous games, and once again he's blinking out, he's dealing damage, then blinks out, spreading those stalkers. Good job by him. And we actually see quite a huge amount of hydro skill for Dark, but Hero decides to push forward. More and more units are being killed, and actually Hero saving his hurt stalkers as he's dealing more and more damage. He has the vision with those oracles. That micro is really strong, as the reinforcements are moving here forward, and he might try to aggressively blink forward. Let's see, not that many hydras are being left, some drones are being pulled now. So Dark in some serious troubles. The queens try of course to hold the position. 18 workers have been killed, but that micro is just intense and crazy here by Hero. Really nice job by him, and I believe he might have taken this game. There's not that much is being left for Dark, just a couple of hydras. The stalkers are hurt, so with some banelings connections he might try to take them out, but no. Hero in the end with a very aggressive push forward. Only a 9-minute game, taking game number 3, so it's 2-1. We should jump straight into game number 4. Game number 4, this time on Tropical Sacrifice, a very interesting name for a map, as we have spawning in the lower left in the red it is Dark as the Zerg, and in the upper right in the blue it is Hero as the Protoss. So a much more aggressive Hero in game number 3. Of course he knows he has to make something happen, he has to be more stronger and to attack the Zerg, to not allow him to expand, to not allow that macro game from the Zerg, as he's once again moving out with his probe, and I believe he's once again trying to cancel the expansion point. This time it's on a smaller map, so in comes the probe from Hero. And let's see if he's going to be doing the same build order just like in the previous games, or is he once again going to try to be aggressive with those stalkers, mass stalkers. No zealots seems to be the answer from the Protoss against the Zerg. And yeah, Dark pretty much staying loyal to his build order, to his strategy like in the previous games. So in comes the probe. So is he going to go once again for those Link Bane Hydra pushes and attacks? We're about to find out, as the simulator is also being finished by Hero. So the pretty much standard build order for the Protoss. His probe is once again going to be annoying. Sees the spawning pole, so just like in the previous games, it's the same strategy, but it should be very interesting to see if he's going to continue with that stalker push. It's going to add something different, perhaps adding a shuttle would be very interesting to see some teleports going out. And yeah, we see the hatchery being laid here. He might continue at around the 2 minute and 45-second mark with that second expansion. Yeah, let's see, the Overlord is also pushing forward. Pretty soon he's going to see the cybernetic score, the pylon and the expansion. And yeah, there's that second assimilator. This Hero is very likely going to hide his starport really soon into this location, or he could go for an adept push. Would be very interesting to see a different strategy by the Protoss, as we're about to find out what exactly his strategy is going to be. And yeah, we're closing at the next marker here for the next expansion, as the first Zerglings will also be spawned really soon. And yeah, there's that probe giving of course vision for Hero. At the same time, Dark knows of course that it is indeed a normal strategy for the Protoss. There's that starport, so of course the two players know the timings. And yeah, the probe has to retreat now as the drone has been detected, so Hero knows of course that it is indeed going to be a normal build order into a second expansion for the Zerg. So a pretty standard stuff, but once again the door is being opened by Hero, as the Zergling just can move here forward, and he might even try to attack one probe or two, going to cause some chaos. So yeah, two probes have to chase this away. So interesting stuff, as we also see an adept move forward for Hero. And yeah, let's see what exactly is he going for. Oracle is just like in game number 1. And yeah, he might try once again to be very aggressive against the mineral line from Dark. Of course, Dark is going to react really quickly with a Queen and with a Spore. He knows the timer, he knows that really soon some Oracles will head out towards his main. And yeah, there's this one adept also causing a little bit of issues here for the Zerg, as the hatchery is still under attack. So nice job by Hero. And at the same time he's also taking here his expansion, so at around the 3 minute and 45-second mark Hero also decides to expand. In comes his Oracle, the Queens are there to defend, and almost one drone is getting sniped here. So sadly here for Hero, only one kill, almost taking out 2 or 3 drones. He has to of course wait for that backup for those other Oracles to move here forward. And yeah, there it is. One Oracle of course being hurt, but the second one has joined the army, and the third drone is also being produced. So Hero going really strongly, heavily Oracles. And yeah, let's see where exactly is he going to attack here. Perhaps into this location. There is a Spore, there is a Queen or 2. And yeah, nice micro here by Hero, leaving the hurted Oracle in the back. And yeah, let's see, more and more Oracles are being produced. Is he actually going for a 4th Oracle? No, he's just transitioning now into some gateways as the Zerglings to pull here forward. So we are now straight transition into gateway units. You might see once again massive amounts of stalkers by the Protoss, as the Twilight Council is also being finished. So of course Twilight Council for that linking ability for the stalkers. Or is it going to be a different strategy for him? We're about to find out. Dark has lost a Overlord, and yeah, there is that tier 2 already mutating, I believe at around the 4 minutes and 45 seconds. He decided to go for his lair. No second macro hatch this time for Dark, just those 3 expansions. And we actually see a Nidus network, so a Nidus Worm it is going to be here for Dark and a Baning's Nest, so he might try something cheesy. He needs of course vision, and this is exactly why this Overlord. So a completely different strategy here by Dark. This is adding that Nidus Worm. I believe this should be the location for the Nidus Worm connection, as more and more gateways are being spawned here. But yeah, the Nidus Worm might pop out, and many Zerglings will pull here forward. We're about to see exactly what is going to happen. There are the Oracles, so Hero senses of course that something out of the ordinary might come towards his way, but no, the Nidus Worm is going to get spawned here. There's going to be massive amounts of Zerglings pulling forward. It's going to add once again a Hydra's Den. This is the question, or just a Baneling's Nest. And yeah, there is this one Nidus Worm, and there's that second Nidus Worm. Now Hero has to send some units out, has to send some Stalkers at the same time. Hero has to defend into his location as in comes Dark with his Zerglings and even Queens. So the Queens were the idea here from Hero. Remember, Queens can't heal themselves because there is no blight down on the ground. So interesting strategy here by Dark. Banings to pull here forward, so kind of the Banings will get some connections. No, actually not. So a little bit of a failed attempt here by Dark, as some Queens are actually moving forward, spreading some of those eggs. But the Hero is nicely defending, as let's see, more and more units are getting vomited out by this worm. Oh, so many Zerglings pull here forward, but in the end Dark has to actually retreat, as there is so many Stalkers here to defend for the Protoss. So a good defense, not losing so many workers. Dark having 44 versus the 59, and we see actually a second worm here. But yeah, the Zerglings actually have to move into another location, so Hero still on the position, still waiting, but yeah, the Stalker should be able to take care of this Nidus Worm. So great defense here by Hero. Hero still under siege as Dark just keeps sending out more and more waves of Zerglings towards him, but there are Stalkers here to defend. There's even one Zealot to defend. Still 10 probes have been sniped. I believe there were some Baning connections there, so nice job by Dark. But yeah, worker wise they're still both pretty much at the same worker amount, so Hero barely holding on, but he is nicely defended here of course against this Nidus Worms. Really good stuff by him, as more and more Zerglings will of course try to pull here forward, but this time Hero being smart, stopping here, closing here the door for Dark. At the same time Dark also expanding all over the map, so while attacking he is expanding, but I don't see this time a Hydra's Den. No, he just went straight into mass Zerglings with Banelings and some Queens. But yeah, remember those Queens have been sniped, so much harder game this time for Dark against Hero. And let's see if he's somehow going to be able to push here forward. So we're about to find out what exactly is going to happen. Still Hero nicely defending, nicely closing the entrance, as yeah, nice creep is still being left alive here for Dark. And yeah, Dark still on only Zerglings with Banings. So actually there was a Hydra's tank being placed. This is now going for those Hydras, as more and more workers are being produced for both of them. So yeah, let's see, is Dark finally going to get some good connections here into this expansion point. Massive amounts of Zerglings do pull here forward. We even see a taste loop here for onto this map. So yeah, Hero nicely defending this place with his Stalkers. And yeah, more and more Stalkers are getting into the middle of the map, so we might see a huge regrouping going on for the Protoss, and we might see an attack here by him. Let's see, exactly 2 Archons have been added, and those Archons are really strong, really important, and even one Immortal is here also joined the army with those spider legs. Same can be said for the Stalkers, also having some spider legs. So yeah, let's see, some long distance mining is happening here. Hero decides to of course spread his units once again, decides to defend and at the same time show his presence onto the map. And yet Dark still roaming around with his Zerglings, with his Hydras. No Banelings, at least I don't see that many Banelings, so this time Dark being forced a little bit back as both players had the same worker count. And let's see exactly what is going to happen, what are the next steps going to be. Hero looking like he wants to regroup in the middle of the map, he wants to launch a huge attack. His Oracle is out to give vision. And yeah, even some zealots do make it here forward somehow, as the doors, as the rocks is all going to be sniped. And yeah, hero has to be careful. There are some banings being morphed. And yeah, those banings will be cancelled. Yeah, let's see, more and more units are being added by both players. There are some zealots, there are 3 archons now, 4 archons and 2 immortals here for the Protoss. Yes, it's looking like a really strong army. Another archon is being spawned, another immortals, and yeah, let's have a look. The zealots are in the front, but they're already getting sniped. Nice force fields. The archons do get some connections, the immortals as well, and more force fields are being added here by hero. So everything is shown here towards the Zerg, the center reset here for the Zergs. But yeah, so much damage being taken here by both players. Again, the force fields, I believe, worked really well for the Protoss, as he was able to kill those Zerglings really quick. And yeah, once again, more and more reinforcements are pulling forward for Dark. He's sniping another Archon. Another Immortal has joined the army in the Great Stasis Trap, but some drones have been sniped here as well in the back. Some Zealots do come here forward, but the real action is of course happening here. But those Immortals are really strong against those Hydras, and yes indeed, Hero is going to take game number 4. So it's 2-2. Yeah, the answer by Hero is indeed going to be Immortal against those Hydras. So 2-2. Let's just jump straight into game number 5. They're spawning on Stargazers. So in the upper right, in the red it is Dark, and his opponent in the upper left, in the blue it is Hero as the Protoss. So whoever wins this game moves forward in the ASL tournament. Really exciting series, starting really well for the Zerg, but in the end Hero came back. He defended really nicely. He was aggressive in game number 3, and now it's 2-2. So such an interesting matchup here in between them. Let's have a look exactly what is going to happen. Still the same build order for the Protoss, as he's pushing forward with his probe towards that expansion point. And yeah, by the looks of it, still the same strategy for Dark, as he's already moving out into another location, knowing of course that the probe is coming forward. I believe the Oracle, the Overlord, has given some vision here. So yeah, Dark deciding to take this other expansion point. And yeah, the build order is pretty much the same. Pylon into gateway for Hero, and there's that assimilator for the Protoss. So the same build orders for both players, with a little bit of a delaying here for the Zerg. And yeah, let's see, what is there going to be anything different here by them? We're about to find out. Is there going to be a little bit of a other strategy perhaps? Are we going to finally see some other units here for Dark? He tried the Nido Swarm, pretty strong, but in the end Hero defended really well. Nice multitask by both players, but in the end Dark defending Hero defending really well. So let's see, there's that expansion being placed by Hero, and yeah, we also see another island, so he might add once again a starport into this location. Yeah, let's see, the Overlord is going to give, of course, important information once again. And yeah, as soon as the cybernetics core is going to finish, we might see a starport for the Protoss, and some drones already being transferred into this location point. So pretty standard stuff, like I told you. And we need to be careful at around the 2-minute and 45-second mark. There's going to be another expansion pretty soon by Dark. Or is he going to try something else? He might try to go for a fast tier 2. Just like in Starcraft Broodwar, he might try for some Mutalisk. We're about to find out. And there's that starport, actually Stargate, being produced for the Protoss. So yeah, is it going to be once again Oracles? It should be, of course, Oracles for the Protoss. Those Oracles, 3 to 4 Oracles, are really strong early on against the minerals, against the drones for the Zerg. And yeah, let's see. Actually, one pylon is being placed now here by Hero, so such a smart decision. Of course, he knows the timing, he knows the 2-minute, and actually cancels now the expansion pylon, but he has added a adapt here, so nice strategy here by him. And what is Dark actually doing? Just chasing an adapt, as this one adapt is being surrounded by the queens. So yeah, Dark really wants to take this expansion point. As the drones do march here forward, one of them is going to indeed add a hatchery, a little bit delayed, but it's still there. So yeah, let's see what exactly is going to happen, as another gateway is going to shut the door here for Dark. And yeah, the first Oracle is being produced. very soon he's going to attack the middle line here from Dark. Yeah, let's see when exactly this is going to happen, or is he going to once again stay home to defend? No, he's actually moving out with his Oracle, wishing of course to attack, but the overlords are nicely being spreaded by Dark. And yeah, look at that hero even trying to evade those oracles, those overlords actually. So yeah, in the end, trying to show here his own Oracle, at the same time he's expanding into this location. So yeah, the pretty standard strategies by them, the same build order it looks to be, as there's 3 queens actually here defending and 1 spore also being produced. So hero just roaming around, just showing his presence here, just keeping Dark at home, keeping him at the bay. And the second Oracle has joined now the army, so he might try to be aggressive. He even might try to snipe a queen. Yes, indeed, he's going for the queen, but there should be energy to heal, or is there? No, actually 1 queen has been sniped, so great first pick up here by hero as he's moving forward. There is a spore into this location. He's trying of course to snipe 1 drone, so a queen and a drone nicely being done here by Oracle, by hero, as the 3rd Oracle is now being added for him. And yeah, let's see exactly what is going to happen here. The oracles are nicely being placed here around the map, but the first blood is being drawn here by hero sniping a queen and a drone. And yeah, we actually have a tier 2 upgrade here into this location, so Dark is nicely hiding that spot. And now finally in comes hero. He should be able to see the tier 2, or is he? No, he still has no idea. There's still a tier 2 one here, but into this location double gas with tier 2. Tier 2 is about to finish really soon, so let's just see what exactly the strategy for Dark is going to be. He's going to add a macro hatch. He's going to add once again banelings with zerglings and hydras, just like in the previous games. What is perhaps going to do for something different, perhaps some mutalisk? Would be very interesting to see, as the first adepts are pushing forward, trying to delay a little bit this expansion point for Dark. And yeah, the oracles are still searching for some kills, not that many kills, just 1 queen and 1 drone, but right now he's moving forward and the queens are a little bit in the back, so hero might try to snipe those workers. It's just 1 spore here, just deciding to roam around, might try to find a better position here. There's that hydra is then, and once again he's going for a queen, but the queen is really tanky thanks to the fact that he's getting healed. And look at that, such a nice micro here by Dark, saving this 1 queen. The oracles are out of energy, pretty much hurt, and he might try to snipe this 1 queen here. So a queen actually sniping 1 oracle, so a little bit of a mistake here by hero. And yeah, that micro is really nicely done by Dark, saving this 1 queen, healing her up. And let's have a look once again at the 6-minute mark and 10 seconds. The hero decides to move out with some stalkers, with some zealots and with some sentries. Let's see if Dark is going to be prepared for this, as hero once again decides to be aggressive, even adds this teleportation pylon. And let's see what exactly is going to happen here, as at the same time it's just 1 zergling attacking here. Of course going to be mass gateway units for hero, as we see the tier 2 being finished. And there's that revolution chamber just for some upgrades here. And let's have a look, where is there a Hydras then here being produced by the Zerg? You might see a Hydras, and no, it's just a baneling nest. So yeah, banelings are really important for Dark, but yeah, hero is already showing his presence, and yet Dark nicely hiding that Hydras then. The Hydras then, as he has some Hydras. Where exactly did he hide it? I did not find it. Really smart move here by him. Yeah, he need into this location. There's that Hydras then with the grooved spines upgrade. So nice job here by Dark. And yeah, lots and lots of Hydras with queens. Not that many zerglings, but this choke point is a little bit bad for hero. Needs to be careful. Blink is of course done, as more and more reinforcements are pouring forward. But yeah, those small streets are really bad for him. And yeah, let's see, he's actually moving forward. Dark has to defend, Dark has to stay back. He's splitting his troops. The Hydras are in the back, of course, with some queens, with some zerglings. Perhaps Dark is even going to try to surround those units somehow. And yeah, the zerglings will of course be sacrificed, as the real damage dealers are of course the Hydras. And yeah, even a gateway is being planted here with this 1 pylon. Really important for those units to get teleported as close as possible towards the action. So yeah, we're closing at the 10-minute mark. Dark on the defense. Hero once again is being aggressive with mass stalkers, and he actually added some zealots this time. And yeah, in comes he forward with his units. One queen is getting snapped, but in come the Zerglings from the upper part with sentry fields here. 4 heroes is moving more and more forward, starting to teleport really far forward, actually to blink far forward. But in the end, there's so many Hydras, and there's even some lurkers in the back. So now Dark deciding to go for those lurkers. Lurkers really strong with that splash damage, and he's just going to be able to deal so much damage against the units from Hero. Of course, he's trying to lure those Stalkers into those lurkers. So yeah, 3 lurkers here and so much splash damage. Hero knows this, of course, so he needs an observer really quick. This is just roaming around, and yeah, with those zealots, the Hydras are nicely defending here, but at the same time, Hero is the one multitasking. Yeah, more and more units are getting attacked, but yeah, nice micro here. HP onto this one Hydra still being left alive. At the same time, in comes Hero with his stalkers, but there's lurkers. And yeah, lurkers are really great in defending. Look at that, the army from Hero is being surrounded. He has no observer, sadly for him, and he's taking quite some casualties. Finally, the spawning pool is going to get snapped. But he has so much damage being taken out of those stalkers, out of those lurkers. Still, the siege continues here for Hero against Dark, but Dark having those lurkers are just a perfect defensive unit for him. So Hero really has to wait for an observer or 2. Let's see exactly if there is an observatory here for him. There should be really soon, as Hero is just going to lose so many units in case he decides to attack without any observers. He has the relevance being added by this Oracle. Of course, he sees now the units, but it doesn't last forever, so he really has to back this up with some observers. Let's have a look. He's trying to attack here into this location. Dark feeling really confident with his lurkers in the back, and he has so much action going on. We see zealots in the front, but yeah, Dark nicely spreading those lurkers all over the place, so he should be fine. Even adding another evolution chamber, and once again, so much splash damage being dealt with those lurkers. And still Hero deciding not to go for his observer. He's actually going for another nice expansion, nice hidden expansion, making the gold here onto this map. This is just being aggressive. Of course, he knows he can afford now to lose units in case the gold mine is going to pump out minerals. So really nice job here by him. But at the same time, we see a nice cheesy Night Swarm being done by Dark. And still remember, Hero has no observers, so in case Dark is going to pull with some lurkers into this location, might be in some serious trouble. Of course, the pylon is really important to get sniped. And let's have a look at a huge amount of lurkers moving here forward, and yet the main production buildings are under attack. Of course, in comes Hero, but does he has detection? That is the question. Do those units see them? Finally, we see a relevance being added by those oracles, but so much splash damage is being added here, and more Night Swarms do pop out. There's so many worms here as the reinforcements are moving forward for the Dark. Such a nice strategy with those lurkers this time. Then yeah, look at that, all of that splash damage the teleported units will already take before being spawned here. So much action going on, and yeah, those lurkers, I believe, are going to even bring the victory here for Dark. Yes, indeed, he's just pretty much taking out the production buildings out of the Protoss. 13 kills, and yeah, there's just Zerglings all over the place now. Another worm is being spawned, and the problem here for Hero is cocky not to go for an observer, and Dark knows this, of course, as he's just coming around here with all of his units, with all of those borrowed lurkers and even hydras in the back, and more worms are being spawned. So yes, such an interesting strategy by the Zerg, and yet this is looking really bad for the Protoss. He still has this expansion, but the real action is of course happening here, and Dark is going to take the series. Such a wise decision here by him. Sadly for Hero, he decides not to go for observers. He just keeps onto those oracles with that relevance. So yeah, in the end, Dark taking it, of course, knowing of course that the lurkers, that the spell for those oracles won't last forever, so the lurkers have been nicely spreaded, and in the end, Dark taking this nice series with once again a small cheesy gameplay with those Night Swarms, many worms out on the map. So nice job here by him, taking a very close series 3-2 for Dark as is moving forward. So yeah, thank you guys once again for watching. This is your host Tommy signing out.